With the rise of AI content, there is a serious gap in the market for online coaches to create outstanding content. The issue is that they often talk themselves out of these ideas, end up just copying what every other coach is doing with crappy recipe videos and maybe a tier list if they're feeling a little bit fancy. Now, often one of the complaints I'll hear from coaches is that, I just don't know how to come up with good content ideas. I don't know how to be creative, and I would argue that's not the case. I think it's more what happens along this 3-step process of how you actually talk yourself out of great content ideas that is the bigger issue. So let's paint the scenario with step number 1, and that is your light bulb moment. This is when you're out on a walk. This is when you are in the shower maybe, or maybe out on a long drive. You're sat there, you have some time away from your phone. I didn't put this on there, but that's a key part of this process is time away from your phone. You're not gonna find outstanding content ideas looking at what everyone else is doing. Granted, there is a time and place maybe for formats of content, maybe to seek some inspiration, but again, that's more often a case of the format of the content. And I feel like, especially now with the rise of a lot of AI and a lot of copy and paste stuff, you're gonna be much better off trying to come up with your own unique content ideas. So we're back in the moment, a great idea hits you. Your only step in this phase is to write it down anywhere. I don't care whether you write this down in your notes on your phone, a physical notepad, your laptop, your iPad, whatever equipment you have access to, whether you even voice note yourself. I know a lot of people that do that and quite like that as well. I've tried it in the past, not really for me. I usually just use my iPhone notes. Get the idea down anywhere, because there is absolutely nothing worse than convincing yourself that it's such a great idea that you're gonna remember it later, only for a few hours to pass and you remember the feeling of having a great idea, but you have no evidence on what it was about. So whatever you do, when this light bulb moment of creativity hits you, get it down somewhere. And again, something I failed to mention here is that environment matters for this. You can't force creativity, but you can actively promote it in order to get more of these light bulb moments by doing the stuff usually away from screens, like I said. So going for a walk, long drives, maybe time away in the shower. The shower is obviously good because you physically can't, take your phone in there, although people probably do these days, or even just activities that are away from the screens is gonna be massive here. So once you've got that light bulb moment, you've wrote it down, you then have 2 choices. You have the choice to action that content idea, or you have the choice of inaction. And the longer you leave a content idea to sit there and not be created, and it's just sat there on your iPhone notes, the greater the chance you will talk yourself out of it. I see this so often where, I guarantee you watching this video right now, I know I do in my phone, is that I have my notes section and I have so many potential great content ideas, but the longer that I leave them there and a week passes, then maybe 2 weeks passes, then a month passes, the chances of me making that piece of content just drops, because I then have more time to ponder, I have more time to think, and more time, importantly, to talk myself out of the content idea and say, oh, well, another coach has already made that video better than me, or this creator did something like that, and it's kind of the same idea, so I don't want to be seen as though I'm copying them. You need to take action, because if you do not take action as fast as possible, and I've drawn 2 timelines here, let's say that this first timeline here is your idea, this is your great idea, and then this is you publishing the video. We're going to stick with videos. We can apply this to any part of content. Publishing the video. Your goal, when you get that great idea and you write it down, you want to move through this timeline as quickly as possible, from idea to publishing the video. Now we're going to come over to that on step 3 in a little bit more detail, but what I see happening so often is that someone comes up with a great idea and then they get caught in this big mess in the middle where they question, is this the right kind of content? Should I be posting this for my niche? What format should I be making? All these different questions that pop up that don't even then let you get to the publishing part, because you're stuck in this kind of overthinking, paralysis by analysis phase where you're not even getting the video published and you're not giving it the light of day, as the light just turned off there to see, whether it's a good piece of content or not. Now, moving on to the final step and process, a part of this is something I call the publish crossover. Now, in an ideal world, if I was to give you a piece of content, and again, I am a video editor. If you was to give me a video and I wanted to make it the best video possible, I would first request as much time as I possibly could, because generally speaking, again, there is the extremes of this where, you know, if you got given a year to do a video, then, you know, you might be overthinking it slightly. But the more time that you have to create the piece of content, the better the video is going to be, right? But the problem as coaches, creators, business owners, we don't have unlimited time. And this comes back to the classic kind of art study where it was a photography class and the teacher asked the students to one group to take one really, really good photo and just focus on getting that photo the best, versus the other group of people took as many photos as they wanted, and the group that took more photos ended up with a better piece of content because they're obviously going through the process, they're publishing it, and they're learning through that way, versus, you know, the one person who just sits there on a content idea and spends more and more time on it, they haven't posted in 3 months, and then you're just hoping that that one video is going to be the one that resonates. For a lot of creators, myself included, we're going to have to spend a lot of time with our consumers, maybe the viewers, sorry, is the right word. We're going to have to spend a lot of time with our viewers in content like this, and that is how we're going to build trust to then sell our services. So as I mentioned, we don't have unlimited time. So if we were to draw a graph here, and I'm not an expert when it comes to graphs, but I'm going to hope to try and make this make sense, is that, you know, if we have quality along this axis here and time along here, ideally, in an ideal world, we would want maximum quality with very little time spent. Now, of course, that's not always going to be possible, especially as we're learning. You know, you might be making a new style of video that you've never really made before. You're naturally going to spend a lot more time on it, and the quality is probably not going to be there because, you know, you're not skilled enough yet. But over time, you want your progression to look something like that. Now, there's going to be natural sort of divots in that. If I just quickly wipe that off, I know I'm using my finger, that is a bit of a crime. But naturally, you're going to kind of, you know, make one video that ends up sort of around here, then you might regress a little bit, and then you might go there, and then you might be here, and then you might be here, and then you might be here. But overall, you still want that kind of trend to be there. Of course, there's going to be outliers, but you want that trend on when you are reducing the amount of time that a piece of content is taking you, but you are improving the quality. Now, there is going to be a minimum buy-in for a certain piece of content. You know, if a video takes you 20 minutes to film and edit takes another 20 minutes, and that video takes you 40 minutes to do, there is going to be a sort of minimum time input there. But ideally, you want to get to the point where you are actually creating quality pieces of content and quality videos in the least amount of time possible, because if we're not doing that, then we're not giving our content the light of day to see how the audience reacts on this. And this is going to be the final point I kind of touch on here. And something that I tell my clients all the time is that you are not the judge of your content, your audience is. So many times within this kind of creation process, again, in this mess, if we're looking at it here, is where we convince ourselves that, you know, oh, this isn't a very good idea, or actually this isn't new information, or are people even going to be interested in this? Are people going to find value from this? This is exactly where a lot of coaches and creators get stuck. And something I have to constantly remind people is that you are not the judge of your content, your audience is. So many times, and we all have experienced this, where we post one video and we think it's great and we spend a lot of time on it and we think this is going to be the video that's going to blow up my business, and it absolutely flops. Versus times when we spend maybe 10 minutes on a video and for whatever reason, the engagement seems to be really good from, you know, the potential clients that we want. Not just saying about going viral, but, you know, it gets a good reaction. People find it funny. People find it really valuable. Something that maybe you think is super simple and super basic, but it hits the right people at the right time and performs a lot better than your average content. We've all experienced that, and that is only possible, that feeling is only possible by you hitting publish. It's not by you getting stuck in this middle ground where you're constantly talking yourself out of the idea, and you need to let your content see the light of day. You need to get it out there and let the result be the result in terms of how the audience reacts and engages with it, so that you are not preventing that. So, that is how to stop talking yourself out of great content ideas. For those who don't know, I should have done this in the intro, but here we are. My name is Joe. I'm a video editor and content strategist for online coaches, and I'm currently making a YouTube video every single day for 30 days, helping you with your content creation. I believe we're on day 6, so wanted to mix it up, get the whiteboard involved. I might do a few more of these videos as I quite enjoy them. I've seen other creators, again, without, I don't want to contradict everything I've said there and say that I've seen other creators do it, but other creators outside of my niche doing similar videos like this. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go, and I've actually quite enjoyed this, although the next time I record one of these, I do hope to have some different color pens, because I appreciate this is probably pretty boring to look at, but both of these were out of ink. Out of ink? I think that's the right term. They're dead. They're dead pens, so we only got the black one. But nevertheless, if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 7.